Dear friends, greetings of the day. Myself, Dr. Raju R. Wadekar, Assistant Professor, Sri Vileparle Kelvani Mandals Institute of Pharmacy, Dhule. I welcome you all for this Lecture 5 for the course Pharmacognosy and Phytochemistry 2, Unit 1, Metabolic Pathways in Higher Plants and a Determination. Disclaimer: this presentation is meant for educational purpose only. The content of their presentation is taken from e-sources as well as from authors' learning experience and subject knowledge. Dear friends, so far we studied about various metabolic pathways like stoichiomic acid pathway, acetate pathway and amino acid pathway which follows or which produces in plants. But there are some techniques which are being utilized that to trace that how these plants undergoes these biosynthetic pathways by using radioactive isotopes. There are four to five different methods which have been utilized, but out of which we are going to study about radioactive isotopes, which is more validated, precise and accurate method for investigation of biogenetic studies. So very first method is radioactive isotopes. Out of these five, there are other four methods are also there: use of isolated organ, grafting methods, use of mutant strains and enzymatic studies. Definition: radioisotope technique or tracer technique can be defined as the technique which utilizes a labeled compound to find out or to trace the different intermediate and various steps in biosynthetic pathways in plants at a given rate and time. It means we need to utilize a radioactive isotope labeled compound to find out or to trace the different intermediates or the biosynthetic pathways which have been synthesizing in the plant cells, okay, and at various steps in biogenetic pathways in plants at a given rate and time. Or in this technique, different isotopes, mainly radioactive isotopes, which are incorporated into presumed precursor. Say for example, we know L-tyrosine is responsible for the opium alkaloid, quinoline alkaloid, such as morphine, codeine, thebaine. So we know that L-tyrosine is responsible for biosynthesis of opium alkaloid. So why not to incorporate these radioactive isotopes into the opium plant, so that we can easily make out that how this pathway is carried out in the plant metabolism and are used as a marker in biogenetic experiments. There are n number of radioactive isotopes are available in market. One are radioactive and second one is stable isotopes, which are used for carrying out various investigation studies in biological investigation, metabolic studies and studies on proteins, alkaloids and amino acids. For that, labeled nitrogen atoms are more specific. Whereas stable isotopes mainly used for labeling compounds as possible intermediates in biosynthetic studies. Significance of tracer technique: the tracing of biosynthetic pathways by incorporation of radioactive isotopes of carbon-14 into phenylalanine, the biosynthetic cyanogenetic glycosides prucine can be detected. This is one of the fantastic example of these radioactive isotopes in investigation of biosynthetic pathway in prucine or in cyanogenetic glycosides. Location and quantity of compound can be traced. Different tracer for different studies can be utilized. For example, for studies of alkaloids, proteins, nitrogen labeled radioactive isotopes can be used in the plants, so that one can easily detect that which type of alkaloids or protein molecules are being biosynthesized and further metabolized. Next is convenient and suitable technique. This technique is very convenient and suitable for its use. Criteria for tracer technique: the starting concentration of tracer technique must be sufficient enough to withstand resistance with dilution in course of metabolism. So it is very important to know the dilution or concentration of the tracer compound. Proper labeling should be done by use of physical and chemical nature. Label compound should involve in the synthesis of the reaction, and label should not damage the system to which it is used. So label isotope should be inert one. Advantages: it is very highly sensitive reaction, it is very precise and accurate, therefore the results are getting very accurate and correct. Applicable to all living organisms to trace various biosynthetic pathways. Wide range of isotopes are available, more reliable, easily administration and isolation procedures. Gives accurate results if proper metabolic time and technique are applied. Limitations: kinetic effect, chemical effect, radiation effect, radiochemical property, high concentration distorting the results, expensive, short half-life and hazardous. These are some of the limitations, but that can be overcome by converting or by knowing the factors affecting to it. Then requirements for tracer technique, preparation of label compound. Nowadays we can also prepare the radioactive isotopes by producing the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere or by growing in chlorella in atmosphere of carbon dioxide 14. All carbon compounds can be radioactively labeled, that is 14 labeled, or tritanium hydrogen 3 labeled compounds are commercially available for the study. Introduction of label compound. The label compound can be introduced or the precursor should be react at the necessary site of synthesis in the plant. Plant at the experiment time should synthesize the compound under investigation. The dose given is for short period of time. This is the reaction in which where we can easily use or we can easily produce or synthesize the radioactive isotopes. Dear friends, this is a schematic presentation in front of you. Whereas cesium, see a schematic diagram of imaging of cesium. So 137 radioactive label cesium dynamics is presented in this presentation. Source which I have taken from radio cesium uptake dynamics in a plant's body by using newly developed high resolution gamma camera. What happens? This exactly here, that cesium, when it is used as a radioactive isotope, it emits some alpha, beta or gamma type of radiation when it undergoes various some reaction process. So once it is attached into these roots, then it goes into the leaves or stem and then in the aerial parts. So here at every time the radiations coming out of this cesium radioactive label compound are get absorbed by the detectors, and thereby it can be easily scanned and can be studied for the pathways. Now dear friend, this is another example. See, this plant is a hydroponic plant. This plant is been attached with the radioactive isotopes, again cesium 137. So at 0 to 12 hours you can see this plant is just inserted into this plant. This cesium 137 radioactive label was inserted, carbon, cesium. Then here at 0 to 12 hours there is no further reaction is carried out. But after 12 to 24 hours it is showing some fluorescence because the alpha, beta or gamma radiations are emitted by this cesium 137 when it involves in some biosynthetic reactions. So after 36 hours, after 48 hours, then 96 hours and 144 hours, you can see the accumulation of fluorescence compound, or 137 cesium is completely utilized in the whole reaction, which gives a complete idea that yes, cesium is the part of the biosynthetic process and various biosynthetic reactions are carried out with respect to the primary and secondary metabolite biosynthesis. So these are the cameras, gamma camera, alpha, beta, gamma camera scanners, to which the detectors are also attached, which detect the fluorescence, and the intensity of light is then calculated. Introduction of label compound can be introduced through via roots, stem, direct injection, infiltration, floating method or spray technique. In root feeding, the plant in which roots are the biosynthetic site, for example tobacco, the plants are hydrophonically cultivated to avoid microbial contamination. Stem feeding, substrate can be administered through cut ends of the stem immersed in solution which contains radioactive isotopes. Direct injection can also be given to the hollow stems like umbelliferous fruit. Dear friends, this is one of the device which has been designed in such a way that it contains in one chamber number 1, which contains a petri dish which contains sodium bicarbonate. Into that lactic acid is introduced. Because of that, a carbon dioxide gas is evolved, and this carbon dioxide from this chamber it goes, and which is been radioactive labeled with 14 carbon, transfer to the leaf surface, because leaf can absorb through stomata this radioactive carbon 14 carbon dioxide, and thereby it get involved in the further process, and that can be scanned by using gamma, alpha or beta scanners. Separation of compounds. Say for example, once I have introduced the active constituent or radioactive isotope into the plant. Say for example, if I have introduced it at 9 o'clock in morning, and then at 12 o'clock if I take the leaf and then I'll macerate it I'll use the extraction, and the extract is then further tested for its active constituent. If it is showing positive test, it means that after 9 or when at 9 it has just started the biosynthesis of primary and secondary metabolites, and by 12 o'clock when I take the leaf, when I do the extraction, I got the active positive test for the secondary metabolite. It means the plant has started the biosynthesis of primary as well as secondary metabolites. So that is called as separation of compounds. Then choice of solvents are used for the extraction. Detection of compounds can be done by n number of detectors like Geiger-Müller counter, radio paper chromatography, liquid scintillation counter, gas ionization chamber, Bernstein-Ballantyne counter, mass spectroscopy, NMR, and autoradiography. Methods in tracer technique. Gas field detectors consist of volume of gas between two electrodes with an electrical potential between voltage applied between the electrodes. So what is happening, whenever the gamma radiations are coming into that gas chamber, it get ionized, and that ionized compound goes to the respective electrodes where it forms a current, and that current is then further detected using voltmeter. So number of volt energy is utilized for that biosynthetic pathway can be easily detected by using this detectors, gas field detectors. Detectors may also be classified by the type of information they produce. If they count the number of reactions, then they call as counters. If they give some radiations at particular frequency, then they call as spectrophotometers. And if at all they form some multiple interaction of energy deposited in the detectors, are called as dosimeters. Here also there is one example I have quoted here, that a plant which immersed in hydrophobic, so it is again reacted with the radioactive isotope which emits alpha, beta, gamma rays. So it is a conversion light scintillators, and then these are the cameras which can absorb the light and can convert the radiation energy into a electrochemical energy which can be easily detected and can be readable. So here the example is, this is a maize plant in which sodium 22, cesium 137, magnesium, calcium, zinc, and cadmium type of radioactive isotopes are utilized. So the reaction and rate of reaction, the time of reaction is more in zinc and cadmium compared to magnesium and calcium when this emitted the fluorescence light. In the plant Arabidopsis plants was visualized. So this is the autoradiogram visualizing carbon transport to zinc tissues. So in A part, the 8 number of leaves is attached or they inserted the radioactive isotope, that is carbon 14 in form of the gas CO2, and it was seen by radiography that from 8, 16, 13 and 5 and 10 only that active constant is passing from head to tail. Ionization chambers are also used which charges the charges created by direct ionization with the gas through the application of electric field. Proportional counters are used for the which counts the particles of ionization radiation. Proportional counters operates at the higher voltage than ionization chamber, must contain a gas with specific properties commonly used in standard laboratories. Scintillation counters are used in conventional film screen radiography, many digital radiograph receptors, fluoroscopy, etc. Autoradiography are mainly used for detecting radioactive compounds with the photographic emulsions. In this, there are in vivo and in vitro autoradiographies are also available. Advantages of autoradiography are highly specific, provide location of receptor, enable characterization of receptors, and disadvantage, everything binds to everything, easy to misinterpret the results. Mass spectroscopy and NMR spectroscopy are also equally important for analyzing or detecting the biogenetic studies. Applications: study of squalene cyclization by use of C14 and cis-ethane labeled malonic acid. Interrelationship amongst 4-methylsterols. Terpenoid biosynthesis. Study of formation of ceramic acid. Application of tracer technique in origin of carbon and nitrogen atom of purine ring system. Study of formation of scopolamine by use of label phenylalanine, and so on. Summary: biosynthetic pathway can be determined by using appropriate type of labeled radioactive isotope. It utilizes systematic protocol for the biosynthetic studies. This method is accurate, precise and validate one. This method locates the formation of intermediate with respect to rate and time. Thank you very much.